Hey guys, welcome back. Last week we pretty much wrapped up on all the intercooler piping. We're going to be working on actually installing the wiring harness, terminating a lot of the ends, and getting everything pretty much installed as best we can. There are a few more connectors and shells that I do need, but for right now we're going to get working on the engine harness, terminate those for like the new injectors, all the other sensors, get those installed. I also need to pick up one more sensor, so won't be able to finish that, but we'll make some progress today. So sit back. Let's take it from the top. All right, so we are working with a brand new engine harness. Everything is all new from the factory, all loomed up. We are going to be terminating some of these with different connectors, repurposing some of the connectors. Since we are using the M-Tron standalone, we don't need a lot of stuff like the barometric sensor. All the injectors are going to be changed up as far as the connectors go, going from EV1 to EV6 for the injector dynamics. We are keeping the factory bulkhead. Hindsight, if I knew I would have went this far, I probably would have just ordered a new connector and a bunch of different pins and ran all the wiring myself. But this wasn't too horribly priced, a couple $100. Give us a fresh start and we'll just terminate as we need. Alright, so we got a decent amount of room with all the piping removed. This is bolted down with a few bolts, so this doesn't have to go anywhere. Let's go ahead and lay the harness in here. Make sure that's all tight and see where that lays. You do need to print some brackets to actually tie this to the manifold because the piping that used to kind of connect through here for each valve cover, we're not using since we're using the catch can. So I'm just going to kind of tie this on as best we can for now and then play with the placement of the wiring. Alright, so this is the factory harness. I removed it from the car. What I'm going to do is re-sleeve the majority of this with a DR25. I do need to remove a few of these connectors, like the TGV connectors, power steering, oil pressure. I'm going to remove what I can so I can re-terminate those and then basically re-sleeve everything so that way it looks nice. So we'll get started with removing all of this. Yeah, pretty much these pigtails will branch out. Not sure what I'll do with the larger side, only because I don't have DR25 that size. We'll see what I come up with. So right now what I'm doing is basically taking photos of each connector. That way I can make sure the wires go in the correct spots. At this time I am removing all of the electrical tape. For those of you that don't know, the electrical tape, when it gets super hot, it gets melted and gooey everywhere. So I have elected to remove the tape, the entire harness, including all the corrugated wire protection, and I will be going to DR25. I know earlier I mentioned that with the larger section, I wasn't sure how I was going to finish that. Everything's going to be wrapped in DR25. It provides the best protection, both for abrasion and heat, and I'll have no electrical tape in here if I can help it. Right now we are just working on the passenger side of the harness. I figured with this portion we'll get everything kind of ironed out, get the injector connector on there, and then sheath everything this side so that we can adjust the other side for length. The idea with this DR25 is to wire all the wiring for all the lengths and then have it kind of feed into the main portion of the harness. And then the larger DR25 will be pretty much used on top of everything to kind of get everything nice and tight. I am labeling everything with heat shrink labels, so we'll know which wire goes where, and then it'll have the protective clear coating on top of it, so that way it doesn't get rubbed off or melted. Never getting bored, there's a blood and gold. I'm just wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel it for their body. If you start shit, you'll be hard lived in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip to be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it.
Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
We got a huge shipment from ProWire, wedges, DR25, and boots that we need to hopefully wrap up on this project here. For right now, I'm going to finish up on the passenger side wiring harness, and then a few of these do need to be changed and removed or added length. So I'll do what I can on this, and then get this back in the car and basically find the lengths that we need. So let's get to it.
Pump up the baseline.
Wait!
Pump up the. Pump up the.
The strobe cuts through darkness. It's not just light, it's a beacon. The strobe becomes our guide. Our shadows dancing with strangers, our bodies merging. Each flash a story, a memory, a fragment of time where everything seems possible. A spark ignited, a rhythm.
These two wires are for the coil packs. So independently I sheath these, and then I'll use a larger portion on everything. That way we can kind of keep those two wires together, or two sets of wires. Wrapping these two wires together was very difficult. The DR25 that I used was a little on the smaller size, so it was very hard to pull all the wiring through together. You can see that I'm kind of struggling. It's kind of bunching up just because of the wires at the end. But we did get it, and it came out pretty beautiful. Removing all this tape actually takes quite a bit of time. Just finding the ends so you can untape it effectively. It's kind of hard to see, and I underestimated how much time it would take for all this.
Man, it's gotta make a decision. Stay focused, man, I gotta go. Caught me going backwards or caught me going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show. It's a straight up madness, you know how we roll.
At this point, we kind of made up my decision to remove pretty much everything, including the plastic guard. We will not be reusing that on the back of the intake. we will be DR25ing everything and then laying this down in the engine underneath the intake manifold. So if we ever do change the intake manifold design to a metal or any different type, we don't have to worry about where we're going to mount the harness. Right now I'm battling with getting the fitment of the wiring where I want it to be, so that way it doesn't have any heat issues and it sits where it wants to be. I figured it'd be easier to take the intake manifold off and then kind of lay everything where I want it to be for final assembly. Now that we've got the wiring where we want it, basically we're going to cut for length, and that way I can re-terminate everything, and that way the fitment is 100%. Intake manifold goes back on just to make sure everything fits, and we'll get the final cut. Alright, so that's what I've got for this week. Basically we got the whole entire wiring harness untaped, got all of the wrap, our factory corrugated tubing off, and we got the passenger side wires pretty much finalized. I believe we're going to keep this the length that it is. That's for the power steering, electronic power steering. So we'll just terminate that and then wrap it with a DR25. I was able to get all these extra wires cut to the length that I needed, and then also I indicated where the breakouts are, so all that'll be good. I do need to order a bunch of the factory crimps, so that way I can re-crimp the wire and then use the factory connectors. So I gotta take some time and identify which pins I need, and hopefully we'll get working on that soon. Got a good part for our ground, throttle body, and the knock sensor wirings. Those are good. We'll get those untaped and wrapped up with the DR25. And that should be it. Appreciate you guys joining us today. We're going to end it off here, and we'll take up on the next one when I get the connectors.